everybody, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Closers Podcast. My name is Marco Alvarado. Today, I am joined by Prince Iban,
a.k.a. Evino,
a.k.a. Finito,
a.k.a. Evdog, a.k.a. Evan. What's up, y'all?
Welcome, Evan, to the Closers Podcast. Quinn Kalani, the long-standing streak of 6 episodes is over. He is not on today, as we know. He might come on like halfway through or something, but we doubt it. Today it's just me and Finito holding it down for the crew at 10:40.
That's right.
But today we want to discuss something that is very near and dear to Evan's little pure heart, and that is basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Buckets. And one of the biggest events in all of basketball, arguably the biggest event in the basketball world, is about to start on Thursday in Toronto. T-Dot, for the first time.
Dude, Toronto's the home?
Yeah, Toronto's the home.
Oh.
Yes, sir. It's crazy, huh?
I had no idea. Is that because they won over the season series with them?
Yeah. No. Toronto and Milwaukee both
had better records.
Yeah.
No way. I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
But that is leading us now into NBA talk. We love sports on the Closers Podcast, and we haven't had a full podcast just about sports. So here we are. We're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
And first, we'll get to predictions in a second. But let's talk about Toronto, because there's a ton of talk about the Warriors. Everyone has talked about them. But let's talk about the new kids on the block, the Toronto Raptors.
In their first NBA Finals appearance in the history of the NBA.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Wow.
And it is the first international NBA Finals series ever.
That is cool. Yep. I didn't realize that until
first international.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a city that has been under the microscope in the past couple of weeks, and a lot of people now are focusing on Toronto as being a cultural haven in a lot of respects, and how their fan base is very, very diverse and all that stuff. And I agree, it is a very diverse fan base, but I just got to say, the Sacramento Kings fan base, pretty fucking diverse too. But never mind that. So let's talk about Toronto. How do you think they will fare in this series? Do they have a chance, Evan? Do they have a chance?
Legit, I think it's going to be at most a 6-game series with the Warriors coming out on top, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because I have grown to just really dislike the Warriors. Regardless of how awesome it is to watch them just kind of play in their offense. It's just like they all know what they're thinking at the same time. It's kind of ridiculous. But
no, I agree.
That's what you get with a team who has had the same nucleus for five straight years ever since they won. Because they won in...
Well, if you don't count the arrival of KD...
Yeah.
They won in 14 or 15? Was that their first? 15 was their first one, right?
Yes, because in 16, that's when they lost to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and then they won in 17, won in 18, and now they're about to win.
So almost 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. But the year before that, they got bounced in like the second round by like the Nuggets or something. I remember. It was like, or the Spurs,
dude,
or Memphis.
It's crazy to think back then because I wasn't really that much of a big basketball fan. I just liked the sport.
Yeah.
But when the Warriors won the first time they won in a while, back in 2015, that's when I really started getting into the game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I mean, ever since then, I've done so much research and just looked at all the different years and different teams, and I've grown to love just a lot of older school players.
Yeah.
And so
you're now a student of the game.
I guess you could say that. But so yeah, 2015 was probably the biggest I was into basketball.
Right.
And so, which is funny because back then I remember really wanting them to win.
Yeah, me too.
I was pumped when they pulled it off, but you know, it gets kind of boring every single year after that. Same team goes to the finals with no chance of anyone else making it out of the West, really.
Especially the past 2 years. For me personally, it's just been really kind of annoying seeing Well, because you think about the arrival of KD, that just put them ridiculously over the top. Like, there's no way any other team in the West or East could ever match that level of talent.
Yeah,
like, you have arguably the best player in the world at the time, LeBron James, on your team, and that's not even enough. Like, he even almost gets swept. Or he did get swept. Was the Cleveland series last year, did they get swept? I think they did.
I think they did too, man.
Let me see.
That's a sad reality.
Yeah, like even he got swept by the Warriors. Let me see. Hold on.
And they had Kyrie, didn't they? No, that was the year. Oh, yeah. That's so sad. I would have just... Oh, man. I wish the Celtics made it to that finals so bad, man.
Yeah. No.
I don't think they would have won, but I think it would have been maybe like a 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah. With Jason Tatum and all those guys when they were still like an actual team.
Without Kyrie, too. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
So...
Man, where's this info? Okay. Finals. Golden State. Yeah, they swept them. The Warriors swept the Cleveland Cavaliers.
After the Game 1 blunder.
Oh, by J.R. Smith.
Yep.
Stephen A. Smith's cousin. His nephew.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
Well, I think personally Toronto has a... Honestly, the more I've been thinking about this series, and the more I've been watching back how the Toronto Raptors have played in the past, just in the playoffs, their defense is, I dare to say, immaculate, because they were able to stop Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, he can, from the half-court line, it takes him 3 steps to get to the free throw line. Like, if you're able to stop that mammoth of a guy who could just get to the basket at will, and also Joel Embiid, previous series, and Ben Simmons, who, yeah, he sucked, but he sucked because he was guarded by the guys on Toronto. If you're able to stop those types of players, like, who says you don't put Kawhi on Steph, and you don't have KD, you don't have Boogie, and now you're relying on Clay and Draymond to carry the team. I don't know. For me personally, it's just like, I could see a world where Toronto gets up like 2-1 and everyone's like, holy shit, this team. Like, what is going on?
I could see that. Definitely because of the performance they put on Giannis, just taking 4 games in a row like that. It was really crazy to see how they just locked him up and made him really fight for his baskets.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to let him get into the rhythm, which he was in all season pretty much.
Right.
That's why he's in the talks for the MVP candidate of the regular season. But when you went to those 4 games, he looked almost like a skeleton of himself. It was kind of sad because I was looking forward to see Giannis just going at these guys, and I was kind of pulling for the Bucks in this one.
I was too.
When they went up 2-0, I was like, man, is it really over? But yeah, the Toronto team, they really did a good job on Giannis. It is really, like, it goes to show when you're in a series, it's totally different than just going in and playing him once in the regular season.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe playing him twice in a row. That sometimes happens, rarely. But, they really just, did their studying up on Giannis and watched a bunch of film, I'm pretty sure, and had a game plan every night. And the Bucks really had no answer for it, which was crazy.
Yeah.
It didn't help that Bledsoe really was just awful whole series, man. I couldn't believe...
Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Man, yeah, he was... I like Bledsoe. He always seems to tear up the Kings, which sucks. Kings are my favorite team, guys, just letting you know. But, yeah, so to see him really struggle, I knew it was not going to be well for them because they really need both Bledsoe and Middleton to do their work along with Giannis to be a really solid team up there. They have depth, but not like Toronto.
Right.
Toronto's got a lot of depth too.
Yeah.
That's also in their favor.
Yeah, Toronto, if Fred VanVleet can finally start playing a little bit better.
Agreed.
If he guards Steph and then Kawhi guards Clay, and then you got Marc Gasol, who is better than any big man that the Warriors have, and you keep it, and those are your matchups. Toronto has a pretty good shot, I would say, to upsetting the Warriors, but that only remains to be seen because we don't know if Kevin Durant is coming back.
That's the big question.
If Kevin Durant comes back, it is over. It's over. It's just done.
And Boogie Cousins, he's rumored to maybe come back as well.
I don't think he's going to be that much of an impact guy because even before he came back for like a week and then he got hurt again.
I mean, but still, it adds so much more depth to their team. That's the main thing
Yeah.
that I look at when I look at Boogie on the Warriors. I mean, he may not be the Boogie of old, but he's still going to add an outside shot to some degree, which none of their bigs have.
Right.
So that's a total different facet to his game
that's true.
that just adds. But
bring back Zaza Pachulia.
But
fuck that guy. Honestly, like
he's the reason they lost.
Yeah.
that was the 1 year they had him. And they lost.
Man. Yeah, and then they got. Well, no, he hurt Kawhi Leonard too.
Oh man, I heard that the other day. I was thinking back to that series when it looked like the Spurs were going to take that first game. I forget what year that was. That was 16 then, right?
When they was that 6? No, that was 17.
Dude, no, was it?
That was 17. No, it was 17 because I remember Kawhi Leonard got hurt because they were playing the Warriors first round and they were looking like they were going to go up 2-1 in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zaza stuck his foot out and Kawhi was out for the rest of the series and they swept them. And they only won one game that series. I'm pretty sure it was 17 because that was the first year they had Kevin Durant. They were kind of shaky, like the first round.
Oh, that was the year they had KD?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking that was the year where they lost to the Cavs.
No.
Never mind then.
No, I wish. I remember because I was in Oak Grove at the time. I wasn't in San Francisco.
Oh, you were in SF when that happened.
I was in SF when the Cavaliers beat the Warriors, and I heard the whole city of San Francisco, they didn't cry, but they were just like, aw, what are we going to spend our money on now other than season tickets to the Warriors? Our Silicon Valley pockets are dying here.
Yeah, that must be a whole different scene out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to, what were we talking about? We were talking about
Toronto's chances.
Oh, yes. We can't forget about Pascal Siakam either.
Oh, true.
He didn't play too well in the series.
No, he did not.
But I think he's going to be able to really step it up because he won't have Giannis on him.
True. Yeah.
That was a big thing in that series. Giannis was guarding him most of the time. And even though he doesn't shoot well from beyond the 3-point line, I don't know because then you look at Draymond and he's as much of an able-bodied defender as anyone else in the league. He's won Defensive Player of the Year before. So
as a defender, I agree. He's capable as a defender. Offensively, I honestly think he's somewhat of a liability if he's not being working the pick and roll. He's kind of a liability.
I agree to some extent, even though, did you see the way that man played last series? He was insanely good, partially due to Durant's absence.
And also because Portland has no one to guard Draymond Green.
True.
They have no one to body him up. Enes Kanter is soft.
Oh, man, yeah. Enes was really bad on the defensive end in that series.
Collins looks like he still is in middle school. He needs to get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it was only his sophomore season. So.
Really? I thought he was his third year.
Mm-mm.
Oh, damn. Never mind. Well.
Yeah, so
anyway.
I agree. There's a lot of different matchups you could look at, but still I'm going for the Warriors. I want Toronto to somehow just pull off some miraculous win.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. That'd be super fun. It would just be fun for the league to finally get... Okay, someone conquered the Warriors.
And I think it would really deter some of the guys coming back to the Warriors. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to see. As bad as it sounds, I don't want to see the same Warriors team next season.
Right.
The same core, at least. Because as long as you keep, it looks like Draymond, Clay, and Steph together.
Yeah.
They don't even really need Durant. But if you keep those three together... age is going to be their only enemy.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just
very
crazy.
True. Wow.
I just don't know if they're going to be able to have anyone that's going to be able to match them because it's going to be their 5th year playing together.
Yeah, that's true.
They already have such great chemistry.
Yeah.
They look like there's no slowing down some nights. And it's insane, man. It's truly insane.
Yeah, I mean they're super good
On
but,
both ends of the floor too.
Yes, defensively, I believe Steph Curry is a very underrated defender. However, I must say, Kawhi Leonard, at the moment, right now, is playing like a man possessed. He's playing like how LeBron played in the Eastern Conference for all those years he was in it. The past 15 years. Or however long it's been since he got drafted. He consistently went to the playoffs playing like Kawhi Leonard is playing right now. And I would argue Kawhi Leonard is playing slightly better than LeBron James has in the past maybe his past 3 playoff appearances. He's more energetic. He's getting his team, I believe, more involved. And I don't know. All I got to say is just to not take Kawhi Leonard for granted, because his performance in these playoffs has been otherworldly to me. And I think you see it, or you saw it when the Cavaliers beat the Warriors in 2016, like we've talked about. You had a guy who's playing like the best player in the world and LeBron James at the time, and then you had a number 2, Kyrie. Who's Kawhi's number 2 in this case? Is it Marc Gasol? Is it Pascal Siakam? Is it Fred VanVleet? Is it Kyle Lowry?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kyle Lowry is a little... I don't know, man. I'm scared with Kyle Lowry. He's my biggest question mark on that team. Because some nights he's killing it. And then others, he's straight 0 points. And he's nowhere to be found.
I mean, with Kyle, you're going to get good guard play as far as ball movement. He's been one of the top leading assist men of the whole season. I think he was number 1. Yeah. I don't even know. He was top up like in the top 3 or top 5. So at least you're gonna get that out of him.
Yeah.
But the scoring, man, it's been real spotty in the playoffs.
Yeah, it has.
And apparently it's been like that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Especially those teams with DeRozan, like, man, they'd get to the playoffs. Obviously, they'd face LeBron, and then for some reason they would just curl up and die. I didn't understand it, but
yeah, I didn't either.
Kyle Lowry.
They were first in the East last year too, I think, right?
Yes, they were top. They were above the Cavs, I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. But anyways, yeah, he's got to really show out.
Yeah,
that's the thing with Toronto. Their guys really just have to play just the best basketball every single night to even stand a chance against this team.
Yeah,
they have to play smart. They have to know, when to switch, when to stay on their man.
Yeah,
all these different things.
Oh,
and
I wonder who that could be. Everybody, let's open the door and see who is coming through it. Oh boy. It's the Moon Dog.
He made it.
The Moon Dog's here
for the 7th consecutive episode.
Stone Cold.
We didn't know if it was going to be done.
Glass shatters, and it happened. People, I'm sorry to break your concentration, Evan.
You were saying. Shoot! I was talking about just the Toronto team being on their game.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're
they have to be sharp. They have to be super sharp. They can't. There's no off nights. They have to play every game like it's a game 7.
Danny Green, that's another one.
Danny Green.
He needs to really be able to just knock down his open shots. That was something that I couldn't stand, seeing him just sit there in the corner and just take a shot, which he is usually automatic for him, and just miss it. I mean, there was tons of those shots in the Bucks series, and thankfully Norman Powell, out of all people, just came out of nowhere and started lighting up the Bucks. He was on one for like 3 of those 4 games that they won.
Yeah.
But they got to have people like that are just going to step up if somebody like Danny Green isn't going to be making his shots. Obviously, Fred VanVleet, we talked about him. And yeah, I mean, there's lots of guys. Gasol with his 3-point makes, he was big in those games. They just gotta play like they did against the Bucks in those last 4 games, man. And I think they'll have a pretty good chance.
I just think that the Warriors have, if we're making a T chart of the advantages that the Warriors have over the Toronto Raptors, I believe that one of the biggest ones is that the Toronto Raptors have better big men than the Warriors. So
Agreed.
If they game plan around their big men and have Kawhi Leonard, attack the basket from the perimeter while there's big men present, not clogging up the lane, but if you center your scheme around getting low post shots, rebounding, defense, all that stuff, you slow down the pace of the game for the Warriors so they can't play their fast break type of style that they loved and they've prospered on for the past 5-6 seasons. They can't play that style. You benefit because you feed your low post guys, which you have better low post guys than the Warriors. And then you also have Kawhi Leonard, who will sprinkle in the threes, who'll sprinkle in the assists, who'll sprinkle in all the pizzazz you need to get it done. I feel like that is the game plan that the Raptors should go with.
Mm-hmm. They gotta definitely crash the boards on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
because that's how you stop the Warriors from just exploding out into their fast break offense, is focusing on getting them rebounds. They have to be able to beat the Warriors on that side of the ball, just getting rebounds overall. If they can out-rebound them, I think they have a way better chance. But the low post game, man, I'm not sure if that's going to be the way to go. Because I don't know. Because no matter what, even if their bigs aren't going to be as dominant in the low post defensively as we think they're going to be, they've got smart dudes on the perimeter who are going to just probably leave their man. Like, say if it's a Danny Green and he's off. Clay might just leave that guy if that's who he's guarding and go in, try to swat at the ball. They got smart players that'll just go and do that and help at the right moment. And so that may not be the way, but who knows? That's a good game plan to maybe try.
Another thought process I was thinking of just is taking the Patriots model of like every game having a different game plan. Where a lot of the New England Patriots, like some games, they just run the ball with what's his name, James White, is that his name, the running back?
Mm-hmm.
They throw it to him all game and he just kills them. And then the next game, Tom Brady throws for 400 yards. And then the next game, they straight run nothing but screens to Cordero Patterson, and you're like, what is going on? And they just win that way because no one can game plan for what the Patriots are going to do next. I think another way to go about it, if they want to get, because you got to get tricky with the Warriors. You can't just go in and be like, we've done this all season, and we're going to win doing it all season, like the same things we've done all season. That doesn't work because the Warriors, guess what? They have eyeballs, and they watched you play how you played all season, and they know how to defend you. So now you got to switch it up. You got to throw everything you got. So even if like coming out of halftime, you switch up your play style or you switch up your strategy. And maybe first half you go low post, second half you rely on your guards, or you mix it in. I don't know, but you just got to mix it up. You can't just go with one strategy the entire game. In my opinion, you really got to.
You just got to mix it up. Oh man,
bro,
what just happened,
bro? I'm sorry, the moon dog got me. He got me. No, he just not. Quinn just looked at me, and I couldn't stop.
You couldn't handle it.
I couldn't stop myself from just laughing a little bit, chuckling. I'm sorry.
But on to the switching of game plans.
Yes.
If they're able to do that, then I say that's probably a really good idea. Unless you find something that just works, and just go with that. But I don't really know much about how to game plan around playing the Warriors of all teams.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean, they're the best of our generation. So. I agree.
They are borderline unstoppable. It's insane.
Yeah. But they have been stopped.
They have been, but without KD.
And
if they don't have KD, again,
it can happen.
That just favors the
happen.
Raptors.
Yes.
Even though I doubt it, will like make a difference just
Uh-huh.
based upon their play in the past. How many was it? 2 series that KD was out. He was out for half of
the Rockets series, and then he was
okay.
all of Portland.
Or was it only the last game of the Rockets series? Oh no, he was out for half because I remember the Rockets. They had a chance.
Yeah, they had
were like,
a chance.
oh, this is our chance.
Because it was tied 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And he got hurt that fourth game. Or, no, that fifth game.
Fifth game,
he got hurt, and then Warriors just won 2 straight.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's crazy how good the Warriors are.
Yeah.
And I hate to just, rule out any team they play against because that's not the way it should be. It should be
competitive.
Yeah.
I
should be looking forward to watching this NBA Finals like I always do.
Right.
But for some reason this year, I'm a little... Not hesitant, but I'm just not as intrigued as I used to be in previous years. Even when it was Cavs Warriors for the longest time.
Even last year?
Last year
last year
it
was
so
so
was
obvious
just bad.
It was over.
Last year was bad. I watched the first game, and then after that, I don't think I really turned on the rest of the series.
Yeah, me either.
I just knew it was not going to work.
I didn't even watch the games. I didn't watch any of them.
Yeah.
And I just kind of knew it was going to happen. But
yeah, so I hope it's not going to be like that for this series.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Toronto can somehow pull off just a win at home. They should be able to, since they're going to be the home team for this whole series.
No, I agree, yeah.
If they can do that in the first 2 games, they'll grab my attention, and I'm probably going to watch the rest of the series. But if the Warriors go into Toronto and take the first 2 games, doesn't even matter if
the
it's
first game.
If they take the first 2 games
by
like a combined 5 points, I'm still gonna just say, okay, the Warriors are just gonna win because the Warriors at home are practically unbeatable.
Yeah, the only teams to do it really are like my Boston Celtics, and that's really and the Cavs.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's really the two. Oh, actually, no, Toronto this season beat the Warriors twice when they went to Toronto, and also when they came to Oracle. They beat them both times.
Okay, well that's
so. I don't know. I don't know if that means anything. It's a regular season. We've seen the regular season is different from the postseason, but maybe that.
Who knows? We'll have to wait till the 30th.
Well, I think that brings us to an alternate reality, or let's just pretend. Let's pretend, for argument's sake, that Toronto wins in 7 games, and Kawhi Leonard hits a buzzer-beating shot to beat the Warriors. He hits a 3. This time it doesn't bounce; it just goes right in, and they win it in Toronto,
Dame
in front
Lillard
of
style.
in front of Canada, and the whole nation is rooting, shouting "Kawhi, Kawhi, Kawhi, MVP." Will Kawhi Leonard stay in free agency, or is he gone?
I think he has to stay if they win, bro.
But this is Kawhi Leonard, dude. He was with the Spurs,
but
the Patriots of the NBA, and he was like, "I want out.
Spurs.
I want to leave."
I don't really understand. I couldn't really understand why he wanted to leave the Spurs. So I guess you're right.
No one really knows why. That's the funniest
it was
part.
such a weird situation. Didn't he just left or didn't play?
He just never played.
Yeah, he just was like, okay, I'm not playing for y'all. You suck. But they were just.
And the thing is, if he would have played, they would have been good.
Yeah,
that's the funniest part. Is he would have played, they would have been top 3 seed in the West. But whatever.
Who knows what that was about? But nah, I think if they win this year, he stays.
You think so?
I don't think there's a chance of him leaving. Yeah.
If they lose, he leaves. Is that what it comes down to? If they win the championship, he stays.
I don't even think so. I think he stays regardless because, dude, just think about the legacy he's going to build in Toronto. This is the first time they're going to the finals ever. Yeah. That's already a milestone. And it's got Kawhi written all over it. Yeah. So that's the coolest thing about it.
Exact reason why they're there.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why he might have wanted out of Toronto. He wanted to be in the spotlight. He He just didn't want to be labeled as this system guy.
As one of a Spurs guy. That does make sense.
So
that does make a lot of sense.
And he's really proved it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I mean,
yeah.
But there's more to prove. If he can win a ring. If he doesn't get it this year, I think he has a good chance of maybe going back the next year.
Especially if the Raptors can free up some cap space and get maybe a second guy in there. Maybe not an all-star, but just more solid pieces around him.
Siakam is still on his rookie deal, I believe.
Yeah, he is. He's getting
Kyle,
cheap, too.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry, I don't know what his contract looks like.
There's been rumors that Kyle Lowry is willing to restructure his deal with the Raptors to free up more cap space. So
that's a cool move by him. I like that by Kyle Lowry. You know, that's the way the Warriors did it. So if he, negotiates down with his contract, that's the way to go. Yeah. That's the only way that you're going to get a team good enough to beat the Warriors nowadays.
Exactly.
Is if you're able to settle and not just want to be Mr. Moneybags out here and get a Supermax deal, which is proved to just time and time again
tank teams.
Oh, man. I mean, not even intentionally.
Blow it up.
Yeah, it just blows up the cap room.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have any after that.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Kemba. Don't do it, Kemba. Fuck boy.
I think... Yeah, so... I think he stays.
You think he stays?
Yeah, I think
I will just be the contrarian, and I will be the devil's advocate, and I will say he leaves.
Where does he go, though?
Because I believe that Kawhi Leonard doesn't give a shit about anybody other than Kawhi Leonard and that fool's uncle and his uncle. That's all he wants.
He's the cold-faced killer.
He just, exactly. He's just like, look, man, I love you, Toronto. It was fun. We won a ring. Cool. I got you guys what you wanted ever since you guys became a team in '94. Now I'm going to go to L.A., which is where I've been wanting to go for the past 3 seasons, and I got traded literally to the exact opposite of L.A., geographically and just culturally too. And now I'm going to go there because the Clippers have space for 2 max slots, and they're hella good, and I can go play with also KD, maybe, or Kyrie, maybe, or any of the other max dudes, or Kemba, and we can win a ring there too.
I think a Kyrie-Kawhi combo would be sick.
That'd be insane.
I think that would be awesome, but
if Kyrie could fucking make a shot, in the playoffs, that'd be great. But
that's the thing. He was okay. So now are we just going to Kyrie, going to whoever we want?
Sure, we can go to Kyrie. Yeah, let's fucking talk about Kyrie, okay?
Mr. Uncle Drew.
Fuck that guy.
So Kyrie Irving, if he teams up with either KD or Kawhi this offseason, I think that's the best situation for him because I know he wanted to really prove himself as to be a leader of a team, but
he was a failure.
Yeah, it's looking not so great for that. Even not much respect to Kyrie for trying that out.
Yeah,
because not too many people would just leave Bron or leave the best player in the league to go do something of their own or try and make a name for themselves.
Yeah,
but man, LeBron and Kyrie were straight Batman and Robin. Those dudes were just nasty in those 2016 finals, bro. They were something to watch. So I think if Kyrie gets another superstar, just to pair up with him, and take some of that pressure off of him,
what are you doing?
I think he's gonna just go back to normal Kyrie and
really
be that guy that everyone thought he knows he is.
Yeah.
You know,
I believe that Kyrie Irving cannot be the best guy on a championship team, and that's just it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
As much as I want to just be able to say that,
best handles in the game, give it to him. Yes,
agreed.
Is he clutch? Yes, he's a clutch boy. But when it comes to being the number one option, there's things that come with being that number one option that people don't talk about. The intangibles, the personality, the being the center of the culture of that team. He wasn't the center of the culture of the Boston Celtics. Al Horford was the center, and that's who they should re-sign. I just have to put that out there. But If Kyrie goes anywhere, he cannot be the center of that. He cannot be the center of that fan base or that franchise's universe. He can't. He could be a sun in it, but he can't be the center of it. Well, not the sun. He could be a fucking planet. He could be a planet.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sun is kind of
the sun is at the center. Yes, I know. He cannot be the sun. He could be the planet. He could be a planet. But yeah, so he could be with KD. He could be Kawhi, Kawhi. He could go with LeBron.
Oh man,
LeBron.
I've been hearing too many rumors about
Let's
that.
bring in our resident Lakers fan, Quinn Kalani, to talk about the state of the Lakers. Can you? No. I want to hear your opinion.
Wait, which mic should I use?
Use that one. Go
here,
to
buddy.
him. Yeah, go to him because that's this mic. You have to make out with it to like get any sound out of it.
You're good right here.
I am not a Lakers fan.
What? Oh my God! Revelations.
I haven't watched a professional basketball game since Kobe Bryant retired.
So we got a Kobe fan.
Turns out, I thought I was a Lakers fan. No, I was just a Kobe fan.
Wow. So, do you pledge
Much
any
respect.
allegiance to an NBA team?
In truth, the only NBA only teams I've ever seen are the Kings and the Wiz. So,
Oh, that's and that was with me.
so, no,
Wow.
Fuck them, fuck all of them.
Even the Lakers?
It's just hard for me to get excited about basketball.
Why?
There's too many games in the year.
Okay. Yeah.
A 7-game series is too much. There's too many games.
Yeah.
3-game series.
Oh,
Baseball
3-game
doesn't even
series.
do 3-game series. Or
That's why no one watches fucking baseball.
wait, what?
Baseball sucks.
Baseball's great. Okay, this is not a baseball podcast. What about? Okay, so you don't like LeBron, right?
Not a fan.
Why are you not a fan?
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm a fan of LeBron as a human.
As a player,
I appreciate LeBron's talent.
as an entity, as a phenom.
Could care less.
How dare you?
as a LA Laker.
Could care less.
Do you think he ruined the Lakers single-handedly?
I was really excited for the future of the Lakers when we had Julius Randle. Right after Kobe retired.
Right. Yeah.
We had Julius Randle. Who else did we have?
You had
D'Lo.
yeah, you had D'Lo, yeah.
We also had that white dude that was jamming on everybody from Montana.
Wait, what?
What was his name? He went to the Cavaliers.
Oh,
Lance.
Oh, yeah, Lance.
Larry
Oh,
Nance Jr.
Larry Nance
Larry
Jr.
And we had some other... We just had, like, good young players that I was really excited about. And then just bad moves. Bad moves.
Yeah, real bad.
Now you had
Drafted. You know what? There was still hope for me. I was like, you know what? I still might be a Lakers fan. And then the Lakers drafted Lonzo Ball instead of De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh.
And that was just like... It was like Genie Bus snuck into my crib, tore open the top of my coffin, and, pierced my heart with a stake.
Because you are a Kentucky Wildcats fan. That's one thing.
Yes, you are. You're
Yeah.
a fan of the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yes.
So that's why you're a De'Aaron Fox disciple.
You might as well just be a Kings fan.
Ooh.
Just say it.
Ooh.
You live in Sac.
I live in Elk Grove.
Oh my God! You
In
fuck-
Sacramento County.
Yeah, you are in the county of Sacramento.
I am a employee of the state. I don't think you can say that.
No, you're not.
Respect the county.
It's okay if you're not a Kings fan.
Look, the Boston Celtics will welcome you with open arms. We will take the refugees from the Lakers. You're not even a Lakers fan. What do you have against Boston Celtics now? What?
I have nothing against Boston Celtics. I have something against your trash loyalty towards them.
How am I trash? What?
No. No, don't misconstrue what I said. I didn't call you trash.
No.
I said you
my
have trash
loyalty. My loyalty to them is trash. How is my loyalty to my favorite?
Prior to recently, you had no connection to the city of Boston, but a desire to go there.
Yeah. So.
And you chose to root for them over your homegrown team.
Okay, if
the team that you grew with, that nurtured you, that
Look.
you woke up with, and you went to bed with. Through the Chris Webber days, through the Mike Bibby days, and now to the De'Aaron Fox and the Trill Cauley Stein days.
May not be there anymore. Rest in peace.
What?
they might get rid of Willie Trill.
How can I be a Kings fan?
Oh, man.
How can I be a Kings fan?
They might just release him. He might
The
not
formula to being the best team in the league is to draft Kentucky players.
I mean,
That's it.
Did Kawhi Leonard go to Kentucky? No, he went to San Diego State.
There are a lot of good Kentucky players in the NBA.
Yeah, no, there
Davis, Cousins,
Fox,
Wall,
Fox,
Devin Booker.
I was gonna say Book.
Rondo.
Oh, my man. Who else?
There's got to be more.
John Wall went to Duke, so right? Yeah.
No, John Wall's from Kentucky.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
He's on the same team.
No, I was
as
thinking of
DeMarcus.
Kawhi. Oh no, not Kawhi. Kyrie.
Oh, Kyrie went to
Julius
Duke.
Randle.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good names in that list. I mean, it's kind of a short list, but still, they're all like all-star.
No, they're all
talents.
like top talent.
If you're a trash team, you've had the ability to at least get. If you've had a top 3 lottery pick twice, then you've had the ability to get 2 of those players.
Looking at you, Cavaliers. What happened to you?
drafting
LA.
Tristan Thompson as the 4th pick.
It's true.
That man.
It's true.
Where did he go to college?
I don't know where he Tristan Thompson. He just was from Canada. People were like, "Oh, look at that!" Fuck that guy.
We got against Canada. But anyway, yeah, I just don't understand your. I don't understand your loyalty to
What?
Boston.
You don't understand my loyalty to Boston?
Particularly the Celtics, because you
Okay.
hate the Patriots.
Yes, I hate the Patriots.
You don't like the Bruins.
I'm a, they're cool. I'm rooting for them in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but I'm not like there waving their flag. But I mean, yeah, I would like to see them win and fuck the Blues, because the Blues are a dirty fucking team and they fucked over the Sharks. I wholeheartedly believe that. But let me address your Celtics anger, okay? On a wee night in 2007, little bowl-cut headed Marco was watching an NBA basketball game for the first time in his life. It was a basketball game between the Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers. And he was sitting there. Look, stop. Just listen. And he was looking at all the faces in the crowd, looking at all the different people in the stands wearing the green and white or the yellow and gold. My father, who instilled in me a love for the Sharks, the Raiders, and the Oakland A's, never gave a shit about basketball. And I don't care, because I know he listens to this, and he'll be like, "No, I was always a Warriors fan." No, you weren't. You never cared. You never cared. Because if you did, I would have been a Warriors fan too, but you don't. So, he never talked about basketball to me, nothing. So I took it upon myself to be like, you know what? I'm going to have my own team. And that day was what was it? Which game? I forget. But it was like a pivotal game in the series between the Celtics and the Lakers when
2008.
the Celtics 2008 when the Celtics won, and they had
You don't even know.
they had KG, they had Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, rookie Rondo. They had my man, what's his name? Did they have Perkins? Yeah, I think they had Perkins.
Who's their coach?
Doc Rivers. What are you fucking talking about?
I know, I was testing you.
Yeah, okay.
They also had Crybaby.
Yeah, they had Big Baby.
Big Baby.
Big Baby Davis. And they had what's his name? Not Sam Cassell. Did they have Sam Cassell? No, they did not have Sam Cassell. No, they didn't have.
You don't even know 3 players into their bench. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, fucking. They had some boot. Okay. Then the next
I can
season,
tell you who they didn't
next
have.
season they got Shaq, and that was fucking horrible.
Sasha Vujacic.
Yeah, they lost because they beat the team.
They lost the next year to the Lakers.
Yeah, well, that was a stupid call. But anyways, the Celtics are my team because I said to myself, whoever won this final series would be my team, either the LA Lakers or the Celtics,
So-
and I've stayed true to that to this day, and that's it.
The origin
That's
of your
it.
fandom is rooted in a bandwagon.
But I was with.
Damn.
Look, it started that way. I will admit, yes. Did it start that way? Oh,
I
yeah.
admire that you've hitched
Hey,
all
but
of
this
your
is a-
belongings
this is
to
a
this
little-
bandwagon,
No.
but like a Midwestern gully. I'm
But
gonna
how-
swipe it all away.
Okay, no, but listen. Look,
How old were you, Marco?
this was 08. I was 11.
Oh my!
I was
God.
11 years old, and it has been, what is it,
You'd
2019
already
now?
been a decade into your existence.
It's
It was
11
It was
it's
his
11
first
years.
exposure to the
It's
NBA.
11 years. 11 years. And I'm still a Boston Celtics fan through and through.
You never had like a Warrior shirt
No,
or a
never.
Lakers jacket
Nope.
or something. Like
Nope.
I remember having a Sharks freaking jacket.
Yeah. No, I never had any basketball related memorabilia. Okay, the only team that I ever had any relation to was the Orlando Magic because my older I know, it's random.
I would give you so much more respect if you were an Orlando Magic fan.
My older brother was a huge fan of Penny Hardaway. So
Penny Hardaway's the truth.
him and I
Legit.
have a picture when I was a baby. My mom bought me a Penny Hardaway jersey and my brother had one. We matched and took pictures.
Oh, you're
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
you could have been.
So we have Magic's pictures.
But who wants to be a Magic?
I
fan?
know, seriously, look. Dwight Howard is a
There's
boof
respect.
boy.
There's respect in
I guess.
you know, it's the same like being a Browns fan. Like, you know, everyone knows the Browns fucking suck. They're trash. It's the most disgusting city in America. I've never been. But
Yeah.
the fans there love their team.
Yeah.
Browns fans are loyal fans.
Yes.
If you were a Magic fan, I would respect you for that.
Wow.
But
But
you're
you-
a Celtics fan.
But you don't respect me. You don't
I
respect
can't
me.
respect anyone that roots for any team from the most racist city in America.
That's a lie. That's a
Boston,
cold-faced
Massachusetts.
lie. Boston,
racist
Massachusetts
city in
is not.
America.
Have you ever been there?
No, of course
Exactly, you haven't. What? I'm a brown man, and I went there. Did anybody say shit to me? No, nobody said shit to me at
That's
all.
not a good thing, Marco.
No, I mean nobody
no one's
said.
walking by. They're all looking down.
That's-
they're averting
Okay,
their eyes.
no one said bad shit to me. People were very nice to me.
No, they said it behind your back.
Everyone's very beautiful there. Great people, awesome people, lovely city, really clean city. I got love for Boston. But I will admit this. I don't think I could ever live on the East Coast. I don't think I could do it. I'll admit that. But am I a Celtics fan? Yes, I am. So, that's that.
Okay.
You fuck boy. Anyways.
Wow, what a story.
I know. I had to defend my honor right
well,
there.
what a story. What a story.
I don't think I've heard that story.
You haven't heard that story?
You're also wearing a
Not
Red
the
Sox
not the
hat.
Penny Hardaway story.
Yeah, because okay, of course I'm wearing a Red Sox hat.
But you're an A's fan. You're like an avid, loyal A's fan.
Yes, I am.
Hey,
Okay,
I have a New York Yankees hat, but that doesn't mean I'm a New York Yankees fan.
I'm not a fan of the Boston Red Sox. I'm not. The reason why I wear the hat, okay, I went to Boston, right? I have a friend up there named Jacob. We were walking by the Fenway Stadium, or Fenway, whatever, fucking Fenway. We were walking by Fenway. There's a store there. He was like, you're from Boston. You haven't bought any memorabilia, or you're in Boston. You haven't bought any memorabilia. Get a fucking hat. Get the hat. And I was like, you know what? That's like a staple. I gotta. What are you doing? You're convulsing.
Marco.
What?
He looked at you and he was like, he looked at your stripes and he said, "Not a tiger." And he saw your lack of integrity. If you were true to your West Coast lineage, you would be like, yeah, I'll take a Boston hat. You would have grabbed it, threw it on the fucking ground, spit on it, stomped on it. That trash. That dirty trash. Disgusting. I'm disgusted.
How? I bought it for my friend.
Where's your
because of my
loyalty?
friend. I'm loyal. What are you talking about? I'm a loyal boy.
If I ask you, if your friend had moved to Kansas City and they're like, Marco, will you buy this Chiefs hat?
Chiefs?
Please?
Fuck that. No. I'm not buying a Chiefs hat. Okay, look.
You're too malleable.
No, I'm not. Do you Okay, obviously you don't know the history of the history between the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox. You don't know the history.
If there's any sort
No,
of
there's no rivalry.
or beef or history, and you're wearing a Red Sox hat.
Okay, this is what happened. If you watched the movie Moneyball, you would know this story, but apparently you didn't. So I will enlighten you. This is what happened, okay? A top executive from the Oakland A's in the Billy Beane Moneyball years left from the A's to the Red Sox and helped them win their first championship in years. That guy still, to this day, reps the A's, and he works for the Boston Red Sox. That's why a lot of A's fans got love for the Red Sox. They're not fans, but, they're like, we got respect for him. We got respect. That's the exact reason why. So you fuckboy, sit down and stop questioning my fandom.
This man does his research, bro.
Evan, how you feel about this?
I think this is a valid point.
Let me say
something. The only
thing... Let me say something. You can't try name drop like that. But let me say something. I will never willingly wear anything other than LA Rams gear.
For football, it seems like it's way more strict.
Football, never.
Football's like
never.
You don't rep anyone else's team.
But that's the only sport I'm really...
You're passionate
sport,
about
uniform.
Yeah, you don't care about any other sport. But in other sports, it's different. Hockey is the same way.
How could it be different? I don't understand how it could be different.
I think it's because,
this is your city.
Okay, you want me to,
this is your home.
I will start. I will just give you this sentence, and then Evan will probably take it away. Teams now are consisting of players from other teams from the previous year, more likely from the last season than the next season. So in that, what I mean is players switch teams more often now than they did back 20, 30 years ago.
You're saying there's no homegrown...
Nothing.
There's no homegrown players.
Nope.
So there's no relationship established
exactly.
with the city.
Yep.
To build that upon in
exactly.
these sports because the money pool is so large.
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, but if you're a fan of the players, I understand why you would...
What is that?
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
I was a fan of Paul Pierce when he still went to
fan of the players.
You're talking from being a Kobe fan, bro. Shut up.
Yeah. But when I realized that, I bowed out of my falsehood. I realized I was living a lie. I wasn't a Lakers fan, and when I realized that reality, I had to wash it off myself.
What if Kobe?
You saw the jerseys.
Played for another team.
Yeah. What if he got traded to the Pistons like
he was about to? For a short time, like that team.
No.
Really?
It wouldn't be the same.
What?
So when Kobe...
It wouldn't be the same.
Oh,
that's trash. That's trash. Let me tell you something. If you like Michael Jordan and you bought a Wizards jersey, you're trash too. That's trash.
That's kind of cool.
That's trash. Be honest. Be honest. People need to be honest with people. Never should have done that. Never should have done that.
What?
He was a calamity.
Bro.
Doing his best Stephen A. Smith impersonation over here.
Dang.
Evan, what do you got to say?
I think it's... I don't know. I don't know what to say about it because
you do have an affinity for the Boston Celtics.
I
too.
do, and
you
it's
and
for the exact same reason
Yeah.
you do, Marco, which is kind of weird because I didn't know you at the time, but
Yeah.
you know, I was a big fan of Paul Pierce
Yeah.
because I don't know, I just liked his game.
I
thought it was
love
fun
Paul
to watch
Pierce.
him,
Yeah.
but and so that kind of put me on, I guess you could say, the Celtics bandwagon.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily rep them as hard as you do,
Yeah.
but I like them.
I'm more of a Celtics fan than Evan is, but he does have a love for him.
Like, I like them more than the Cavs. Last year,
Yeah.
I wanted them to beat the Cavs for sure.
Yeah.
This is the real question. NBA Finals, Kings versus Celtics. Where do you fall?
Obviously, the Kings.
Celtics.
Oh, whoa.
I'm sorry.
See.
I'm sorry, but look.
This
You-
is an insult to the realm you live in.
And the reason I would say the Kings is because I have watched them longer.
Yes.
I remember vividly being like around 5 years old, 4 years
Yeah.
old, maybe even 6, and going to Kings games at Arco Arena and watching Bibby and C Webb and my favorite player,
Peja. Stojakovic.
I had a Peja jersey. That was my first ever
NBA
like,
jersey.
sports jersey.
Oh, what?
Period. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And because I wasn't really a big sports fan back in the day,
Right.
but I had a Peja jersey
Uh-huh.
because I loved that man.
Yeah.
That man's last name was sick. Stojakovic, he was a cold-blooded killer,
He was a cold-blooded
except
killer,
in the
yep.
playoffs.
Right.
So,
Yeah, true. Kyle Lowry.
so I have a lot of respect for the Kings because they've grown
Yes.
since I remember them as a kid.
Yes.
From being decent.
Yeah.
Being able to beat the Warriors. I actually watched, not the Warriors, the Lakers. I actually went to a game where they played the Lakers,
And they
and
beat
I
'em?
got to watch Kobe and Shaq. It was pretty
Oh, wow. That is
crazy.
really crazy.
Yeah, that was probably... I wish I was way more into sports back then.
Yeah.
But, you know... So I like the Kings.
Yeah.
I'm pumped that they're actually, you know...
Becoming relevant
making
again.
moves.
Yeah.
Yes, and, you know, it's... It could all go to shit, though. That's the thing with
Yeah.
the Kings. Like, they could have a great season, and then all of a sudden they make some terrible moves. Sign Luke Walton.
Ooh.
And,
I
yeah,
don't
that
know
stuff
about all
happens.
that.
But who
Well,
knows?
Look,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, out of nowhere they became good. So.
I would say that I would root for the Celtics over the Kings in that hypothetical finals series because regardless of who wins, I would be very happy. However, what team have I pledged my allegiance to from the beginning of me watching basketball? The Boston Celtics. And that's because I only saw like one Kings game on TV when they got robbed by the Lakers back when I was like 5 or 6. That's the only game I ever remember watching when I was a little kid, and I really didn't care about it. Like all my whole family, they were into it because part of them are Laker fans, part of them are Kings fans now because like we moved. Some of us moved to Sacramento, so they took on the purple and black, but or is that whatever? Fuck.
It was purple and black.
Yeah, purple
pretty
and black.
much.
Yeah, and so that's like the only game I remember watching when I was little of the Kings. But the games that I've watched recently have all been Celtics games. Like the only games I've watched that are Kings games are ones where it's like, oh, let's see if the Kings are going to make a push for the playoffs this year, and then of course they fall short, and it's like, all right, well, let's move on to the Celtics. Let's not even pay any mind. It's really how it is for me. So I have to be true. I have to be truthful to myself. That's who I'd go for. But if the Kings won and beat the Celtics, I'd be happy too. I'd be pretty pumped. Good for the hometown. Yeah. It's a complicated relationship. Quinn, I'm sorry that you don't understand it. I know you're very old school in that way.
Quinn's got them old school loyalty
Why do you
vibes.
think I came all this way?
But yeah, so do you think, Evan, so you're saying Warriors in 6? Is that your prediction for the series, or
Yeah,
Warriors in 6?
that's my prediction.
I'm going to say Warriors in 7.
Okay, I would like to see that more.
I think it's gonna go down to the wire. I think this series is gonna surprise quite a bit of people. A bit of people. Yeah. Do you have any topics you want to talk about? We have about like 5 minutes left. We can like touch on real quick before we skedaddle on out.
I think we should talk about the draft real quick.
I agree. That's a great topic to talk about. Not Kawhi. Why do I keep saying Kawhi?
Zion.
My man Williamson. Yes. He is now going to be a New Orleans Pelican.
I mean, we can't just assume it, but...
Well, it's going to happen. Come on.
Yeah.
Unless the Pelicans trade that pick for some reason.
I don't think they will.
Why would they?
I think the biggest question, because we know what the first 3 picks are going to be.
Yeah.
We know it's probably... I mean, it's obviously going to be Zion to the Pellies.
1.
Ja to the Grizzlies.
You really think Ja's going to go over RJ?
Yes.
Oh.
I think they're going to probably maybe ship out Conley. If they can. He's got a big booty contract that I don't think anyone's going to want to take over. But I think they're going to get their point guard of the future in Ja. Because, I mean, RJ, he can play point, but I don't think that's his true position. I think he's more of a wing player or a shooting guard. So I think he goes to the Knicks.
RJ?
I think RJ goes to the Knicks. But the Lakers, I don't know what they're going to do with that pick.
Lakers, baby.
I think they're going to try and make a move for Anthony Davis with it.
And they're going to get rejected. Because I believe...
Again.
I really think that the Lakers are on the Pelicans' blacklist after everything that happened. They're just
you think there's no chance they're going to get AD?
Even if the Lakers put LeBron on the table to get AD, they would be like, no, we're good, thanks, but go fuck yourself. Like they would not. They would give.
But you.
They would give the Minnesota Timberwolves a chance with Andrew Wiggins on the table over the Lakers. That's just the truth. That's just it.
I mean, I would, if I was the Pelicans, it just depends on, like, because, when does the trade window open? Does it open, on draft day or something?
No, I think it's like 2.
Is it after the finals
are
over?
No, trades can happen. You're right. No, trades can happen during the draft.
And that's the first time.
That's the first time, and then after that, but it has to pertain to the draft. So people can't just be traded, I don't think. Yeah. It has to be pertaining to draft picks. But there's a window, I believe, like end of June, very end of June, early July, that allows people to get traded. Once the free agency starts, then you can start trading.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So in that short window of the draft, of the 3 picks before they pick the Lakers, I don't think there's going to be enough options for that they're going to receive as far as other teams trying to trade for Anthony Davis. You know, I think that would be the only deterrent from them rejecting the Lakers.
Yeah.
You know, again, because obviously they want to keep AD possibly out of the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Just to help their chances.
Yeah.
As far as maybe going for a title run, who knows?
Yeah.
That seems like the biggest deterrent as why they won't trade him to the Lakers.
Right.
Or, I mean, they traded him to the Suns. Who cares? Because the Suns aren't going to do shit.
That'd be crazy.
But
they actually, if they don't trade Devin Booker and they just trade a bunch of picks and like a bunch of young players, I mean, I don't know.
That's a better trade-off than trading him to the Lakers, who are obviously going to become instant contenders after that.
Exactly, and they don't want to help the Lakers.
But I've been hearing
2 teams that are rivals right now, for sure.
I've been hearing more and more that the Celtics might trade for him.
Especially now.
Yeah, so
I mean, come on.
So what I'm trying to get at is within that window,
Anthony
they're not
Davis
going to
might be
receive any trade offers from any other team
Yeah.
for Anthony Davis that's more, enticing, or anything they would want to, cash AD in instead of waiting for his contract just to be up and for him to leave.
Right.
That's the one thing that I'm looking at is when he's done, he's just going to up and leave. He's not going to give him anything.
Yeah.
They're not going to get anything for him. But who knows? They still have another year with AD.
Yeah.
They could trade him mid-season.
Yeah.
So that may be what happens.
Yeah.
And I think the Lakers are just going to use their pick on whatever's the best available, which is weird because
that is weird.
no one – well, I'm just saying it's weird because I don't see too many people outside of those top three as like bona fide stars in the league.
Yeah.
RJ being on the border there, I like RJ, but I think if he puts in the work, if he, acclimates to the NBA game, he could be good.
Do you think that the Atlanta Hawks can make a push for Anthony Davis? I've been seeing this theory float around NBA circles recently, because the Atlanta Hawks have a bunch of young talent that can make a move. Plus, they have that pick. Him with Anthony Davis with Trae Young, a John Collins, be crazy. I don't know.
They'd have to give up one of those dudes. I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
I think they're, unfortunately.
I just
like,
want.
That's the thing. I wish that we could just have someone, have all these players together, have it not be a problem. But obviously, there's going to have to be a player of equal.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, salaries have to match up.
That too.
Yeah.
And John Collins and both
Trae
Young have rookie deals right now.
I want AD to go to a team as random as when Kawhi went to Toronto. Like, no one was guessing that he would go to Toronto.
Or PG to OKC.
Exactly.
Like, those were some...
and if Kawhi stays, that sets the precedent that deals like that, trades like that are those are moves that franchises should make.
Yeah.
Because the track record's good. Like, PG wanted to go to the Lakers. You trade him to OKC. He's like, oh, I'll stay in OKC. Kawhi wants to go to LA. You ship him out to Toronto, which is across the country, not even in the country. And he's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to stay. This is nice here. I like it.
But the thing is,
it's like
the other side of the deal is
you don't get anything.
Yeah, so
I
the
agree.
Pacers did not luck out on that trade.
What?
I mean,
they got Sabonis and they got Oladipo.
Never mind. They did get some stars in that trade.
That trade worked out perfect for both sides. That's
I
one of
just
the
totally forgot about Oladipo. Because
oh, really? Because he was out for the whole season. Yeah.
Not whole season, but
for most of the season.
Yeah, where it counted.
That did suck.
Dang.
He was having a great season too.
Yeah, man. I love Oladipo too.
Yeah, I wish he would have done better in Orlando. That is one team that I wish was better. Is just Orlando. I hope Clay goes there. I like Clay Orlando. There's rumors that they're gonna pay him like anything he wants, like max, and they're just gonna offer it. Like they're just gonna do it.
Why not? They got the cap space.
He's been linked to them for a long time.
Unless they sign Vucevic again. Because he's a free agent, man. So.
You gotta let Vooch walk at this point, man. Fuck that.
You're right.
You gotta let him go to the Lakers and like be second fiddle to LeBron and just let him do that. Get the cash grab. Well, I think that's all the time we got for today. Thank you for listening, and we're going to have an Instagram up soon, hopefully in the next week. Be on the lookout for the next episode. I'm going to have my best friend Gavin on as the guest, and we're going to talk about a bunch of random shit, and it's going to be a good time. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you soon.
Peace.